Singapore. I slept home maybe 3 weeks, you know, I'm that busy, and but yeah, I'm happy. I'm kind of happy, and I run so many projects, so many businesses, so many things, and so much is going on around, and that's good.
Yeah, this is a good card for you to come out to because the co-main event, obviously, two women you're very familiar with. Can you kind of talk to me about this fight and just your perspective?
Oh, I don't like to predict the fights, but definitely Weili Zhang in the first round. She's so strong, so physically and mentally as well, and I feel that she's going to be the strawweight champion again soon, this Saturday.
And last one for me, I don't know if you saw the press conference yesterday.
No,
Carla Esparza was booed pretty heavily by the fans.
Really?
Just kind of, do you think that maybe that people are being a little bit too hard on her about?
She's the champ, you know, and she deserves the respect, you know, and all the attention. But it's not only about being the best athlete. It's also about your character, you know. If people see charisma in you or not, you know. If I was becoming the strawweight champion for the second time, I would go bigger, you know. I would double the amount of my followers, money, contracts, and everything, you know. And it looks like for Carla Esparza is enough, you know. And it's okay. We have to respect that. But yeah, she's the champ, so she deserves all the respect right now, you know.
Joanna, I spoke with Joanna Jedrzejczyk a couple months ago, and he said he's 100% certain that if the UFC went back to Poland for a stadium show, that you would come out of retirement.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And sometimes I feel that I should give one more fight. I should do the last dance for fans because we had no time. I was not prepared, and they were not prepared to say goodbye. So, and like I said, it was the best camp in my fighting career. You know, the last camp was the best camp, and I was in such good shape. You know, but yeah.
Looking at the main event on Saturday, you're in a kind of similar position as Israel. When you fought Valentina, you had 2 fights against her in your Muay Thai times, and Israel's obviously lost to Alex Machida twice. So, is the approach different going into a title fight in UFC, knowing you fought twice before in a previous sport?
I feel like there's lots of pressure on Israel, but he's the champ. But I feel that he's totally different fighter and a man right now than he used to be. So Pereira is going to face totally different opponent on Saturday. I'm not worried about it.
And then finally, Saturday's also going to be Frankie Edgar's last fight. Do you have any memories of Frankie? Were you a fan of his coming up, both in and out of the octagon?
Yeah, always super happy, super powerful and charismatic, but super calm and nice guy. So I'm happy for him, you know. I'm happy for him that he's going to do the last dance in his hood somehow, you know. He's from New Jersey, yeah? Yeah, so yeah.
Joanna,
That's quite amazing.
sorry to interrupt you. Joanna, so if you won your last fight,
I would be fighting in this fight.
was it just going to be like, just keep rolling the dice until you finally lose, and then you would have retired, or you just kept
No,
going?
probably not. You know, I'm not scared of losing. I'm scared of losing by knockout. You know, I want to stay healthy. And there is a thin line. You know, I didn't want to cross. I don't wanna. Yeah.
I asked this to Frankie yesterday, because I want to hit you on my last thing to you. When I talk to my children, my grandchildren, 20, 30 years from now, and they ask me about you, what do you want me to say about you?
I ask you, what would you tell about me?
Okay, let's go to my next one. I'd say an absolute killer. And it's going to go to my next question.
Yeah, some people, they, like, for example, like, I love Jan, he's like my brother, but when he won the belt, all the MMA media were saying that the best moment in Polish MMA history. What the heck? I was defending my belt 5 times, you know. I was the first one, and you know, I love Jan, and for me, he's one of the greatest. But you know, that's the thing. I don't want people to forget about who I was and what I did for the women's MMA. You know, that's it.
when I think about your career, I think about when you first showed up on the UFC, you had this edge where you wanted to murder anybody who even thought they could challenge you. But at the end of your career, when you faced off opponents, you were shaking the hand, you were smiling. Like, what was it? Why was that change? Like, why did the attitude change?
I don't know, it just came naturally, you know, I don't know. I was less violent, maybe. I don't know, that's difficult, you know, but some people they were happy with, there were people who were fighting on from the beginning, but I was always myself, you know, I was always doing my thing, so that's it.
Thank you.
Joanna, over here.
Oh, she was first, so sorry. She was before, so sorry.
Carolina spoke a while ago about her move to ATT and that you helped her with that move over. Can you talk a little bit about your help with Carolina? And it seemed like it meant a lot to her to have you, you know, helping her along.
Yeah, I'm happy to support fighters in general, but female fighters, especially from Poland. And I wanted her to move to ATT before her fight with Juliana what's her name? Pena. She lost too. So I wanted her to move to ATT, but she needed more time. But very happy that she found her place at American Top Team, and I knew that it was going to be her second home. And she's happy. I'm looking forward for Carolina's victory on Saturday.
I was going to say, how do you think she does in there? Obviously,
It's not going to be an easy fight, and but I really believe in Carolina.
thank you.
Thanks.
Joanna, over here.
All right, over here.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, how are you? From one Polish person to another, I want to thank you for everything you've done in the sport, both
Thank you.
kickboxing and mixed martial arts, and also putting Polish mixed martial arts on the map. So one question, for the upcoming female MMA fighters, you know, you already been through the process. What advice would you give them?
Just get as much as they can from every fight, every moment, from every exposure, and I always give a lot and I take as much as I can, but I wish I was this smart as I am today. 5 years ago, or when I was the champion, I would make even more money, I would do more, but that time I felt like I was doing, you know, enough, and I was getting enough, but I heard it from some champion that day, like, they told me, like, get as much from this moment, you know, because when you lose the belt, people will somehow forget about you. And I will give the same advice, you know, get as much as you can from this moment, because it's not that, because you can't be the champ forever, you know, and that's the thing, that's the thing. But I'm happy, you know, with the belt, without the belt, I was always super happy, very dedicated, and, you know, I'm working a lot, making enough money till now, and that's the good thing about it, you know, but it's all about working hard, and not only willing to work, but working. Putting in actual work.
Absolutely. You're a bona fide legend, and congratulations on your retirement.
You mentioned earlier you weren't going into the management business, and you're talking about some of the other stuff that advice for young fighters. What is the worst advice or decision that your manager, maybe early in your career, maybe in kickboxing, one of your managers ever had for you that you wish you'd never listened to?
That I shouldn't be fighting some fighter. I remember when I faced, when I got an offer to fight Rosie Sexton, the former UFC fighter, before Cage Warriors. Before I got into the UFC, they told me, my manager at that time and my coaches, they were like, no, it's not a good idea, you can lose the fight, you are not going to get into the UFC. And I told them that, guys, I'm taking this fight, I'm winning, and I'm getting into the UFC. And it happened, you know, so the most important thing is to believe in yourself and be surrounded by people who are believing in you as well.
Hi, Joanna, over here. Long time no see. You know, outside of retirement, like, what have you been doing? Like, what are some of the funnest things that you've been doing? I know you love to travel. What are some of the best places you've been to this year?
Ooh, I don't know. I visited like 10 countries this year already. So I keep on busy, but I launched my supplement company, my labs. You know, we are under USADA, we can't take all the supplements. Most of them are very dirty, and so I want to keep like really clean and pure formulas and dedicated for athletes and people in general. But I run so many projects, and it's good that I finally opened my foundation. So it's my next goal to help even more kids and teenagers, you know, becoming who they want to be in their lives. That's the funniest part of my life right now.
Awesome. And you know, living a very adventurous lifestyle, like, do you think we're ever gonna see a TV show about yourself? You know, like you doing, you know, your things, going places. Do you think we'll ever see a TV show?
Yeah, I have a plan to have my own TV program. There is a documentary about me on HBO in Europe, and but yeah, I want to do Dakar racing 2 years. So I'm really challenging myself in racing. I'm a driver. A month ago, I did my second race. I got the pro license, so I can't wait. I need to stay disciplined, so I can't wait to get on schedule and race even more, learn and do the Dakar race in 2 years. You know, it's really big challenge. One of the biggest in my life, and very dangerous as well.
And last question for you. A lot of fighters are excited to be fighting at MSG this weekend. What could you take away from your first experience fighting at MSG back in 2016 at UFC 205?
2017, yeah, it's a mecca, you know. It's a place to be and fight, and my biggest dream became true, and it's super exciting. You feel all the ghosts, you know, from different fighters and just people who were performing in the arena. You know, it's good. It's just good.
Thank you. Have a good time in
Thank
New York.
you. Appreciate it.
Hey, Joanna over here. How you doing?
Very good. Thank you.
Are you still training, or are you just completely out the game and you focus on the businesses now?
I do. If not racing, I will do ADCC in 2 years, but I'm pretty busy. So I do training every day, tennis or cardio or different sports. I haven't done any boxing or Muay Thai since my last camp. I do some jiu-jitsu training once in a while, but that's it. But I do training every day. I know I want to be chubby, so I need to train, you know.
Exactly, and mentally too, do you think it affects you, like is your mental not as sharp if you're not training and just kind of...
Yeah, I need it, you know, since I was a little girl, I was always very active, so I need sport in my life on daily basis.
Good to see you out here.
Thank you, appreciate you guys. Thank you.